This weekend's Mexican Grand Prix at the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez stands out as one of Formula One's most unique events, presenting challenges that teams don't face anywhere else on the calendar. Sitting 2,200 meters above sea level, it's officially the highest circuit in Formula One, and that extreme altitude brings its own set of engineering headaches teams must solve to stay competitive. At this height, the air is roughly 20 to 25% thinner than at sea level, and that reduced air density affects almost every part of car performance, from aerodynamics and power delivery to braking and cooling, forcing teams to rethink their entire setup approach. The biggest issue is downforce. Downforce is generated as air flows over the wings and under the floor, pressing the car into the track surface to give grip. But with 25% less air in Mexico, there's just less for the car to work with. It's like swimming in shallow water instead of deep. You've got much less resistance to push against. To make up for it, teams crank up their wings to the steepest angles possible, similar to the high downforce setup used in Monaco, to grab every bit of thin air available. But even then, the cars still generate less grip than they would at lower altitude circuits. And those aggressive wing angles come with a cost extra drag that kills top speed on the straights. With Mexico's long straights, that creates a constant balancing act between corner grip and straight line performance. The thin air also makes cooling far more difficult, both for engines and brakes, forcing teams to open up larger cooling vents, which again increases drag. Managing temperature becomes critical to prevent failures and maintain consistent pace. Looking at which teams are best equipped for these conditions, Red Bull Racing and Max Verstappen have to be seen as the front runners heading into the weekend. The stats back it up. Verstappen has won 5 of the last 7 Mexican Grand Prix, proving just how well the Red Bull car suits this venue. Their aerodynamic design is incredibly efficient, producing high downforce levels without too much drag, exactly what's needed in Mexico, where finding that perfect balance between grip and speed is key. Verstappen's current form strengthens his case even more. He's won 3 of the last 4 races and cut Oscar Piastri's championship lead down to just 40 points, giving him serious momentum heading into the weekend. Combine that with his historical success here, and Verstappen looks like the clear favourite once again for Sunday's race. McLaren, though, won't go down easily. They've arguably had the quickest overall package this season, but their high downforce philosophy could actually hurt them in Mexico's thin air. Their cars generate huge downforce but also big drag, and when the air's already thin, that drag becomes a much heavier penalty. Both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri are capable of podium finishes, and McLaren will definitely aim to challenge Verstappen for the win. But beating Red Bull over a full race distance might be a tall order. Piastri in particular needs a bounce-back result after finishing only 5th in Austin, while Norris looks sharper right now and could be McLaren's best shot at taking the fight to Verstappen. Just 14 points separate the McLaren teammates in the standings, making the team dynamic even more delicate. Mercedes has also been finding form again. They should be in the mix for top 5 or top 6 positions, and if either Red Bull or McLaren stumble, Mercedes could easily sneak a podium. George Russell has shown impressive qualifying pace recently, so a strong starting position could make him a real threat. Ferrari remains a bit of an unknown. They've battled overheating issues at multiple races this year, and Mexico's thin air could make that even worse. Charles Leclerc will need a clean, trouble-free race if he wants to secure solid points, while Ferrari will likely find themselves fighting Mercedes for 4th through 6th place. They've shown flashes of strong performance this season, but consistency remains their weak point, And in Mexico, that could go either way depending on how they manage their cooling. Last year, nearly everyone ran a one-stop race, starting on mediums and switching to hards. Only Sergio Perez went for something different, and it didn't really pay off. There's little reason to expect big changes this year. Track position is everything in Mexico, and an extra stop rarely works out. Tyre wear here is moderate, but graining is the main concern. With less downforce, tyres struggle to stay in their optimal temperature window, and when they get too cold, the surface starts to grain, small rubber pieces tear away, killing grip. The left side tyres take the most punishment because of the track's layout, so managing them will be crucial. Some teams might be tempted by the soft tyres for their pace advantage, but they degrade fast and could force a risky two-stop strategy. Most teams will likely stick to the medium to hard one-stop plan, though drivers starting further back might gamble for an alternate approach to gain track position. Success will depend heavily on tyre management early on, because controlling graining in the opening laps can completely change your race pace later. Overtaking isn't impossible here either. Turn 1, following the long main straight, offers a prime opportunity with a massive braking zone. DRS is particularly powerful in Mexico's thin air, so being within a second of the car ahead gives a real shot to make a move. Expect plenty of action down the straights. The stadium section in the final sector always delivers incredible atmosphere and tight wheel-to-wheel moments, but drivers need to be cautious. It's easy to overcook the low-grip corners and lose momentum. This weekend also follows the sprint format, giving teams just one practice session on Friday before heading straight into sprint qualifying on Saturday morning, then the sprint race in the afternoon, and standard qualifying that evening. It's a packed schedule, and with so little time to fine-tune setups, that single Friday session becomes absolutely crucial. Get it wrong there, and the whole weekend could unravel. The sprint will give an early look at race pace and tyre behaviour, potentially shaping strategy decisions for Sunday's Grand Prix. Verstappen heads in with momentum, history and machinery all on his side. McLaren should be strong challengers, but may suffer from drag, while Mercedes and Ferrari look set to fight over the remaining top 6 spots. At this stage in the season, with only 5 races left and 141 points still up for grabs, every single result matters. Mexico could prove decisive. Either Verstappen continues cutting into Piastri's lead, or Piastri holds firm to defend his advantage. The altitude makes this one of the most technically demanding events of the year, and the winner will be whoever nails the balance between downforce and drag, executes a flawless one-stop strategy, and avoids overheating or graining issues. No matter how it plays out, the Mexican Grand Prix promises chaos, strategy, and pure F1 brilliance. And if you're loving these breakdowns, don't forget this is F1 Grid, your home for fast, sharp F1 analysis. Hit that subscribe button, join the grid, and help us grow this brand new channel. We've got full race analysis, driver drama, and inside paddock coverage coming every week, so don't miss it.